Hey guys, I wanted to make a video. I'm actually in a hotel in San Diego for the weekend, and it's a pretty amazing room. Here for something my wife's doing work-wise, and so we're staying in this amazing place. Just wanted to kind of show you what I was up to. Hey guys, so what is it, Friday? And I didn't make a video yesterday. Yesterday was actually my my birthday, so I wasn't able to do it. And it's gonna be a short video. I don't actually know exactly what I'm going to talk about in regards to Amazon or reselling or whatever it may be. Thank you. What do you call it? But I just wanted to put a little video, post it. That I didn't forget about you guys. I'll be back Monday or Sunday, but I'll make a video on Monday as well. I was looking at my numbers to talk about something related to Amazon. And my sales are still slower, but I was looking in the first 21 days so far as of today. As of today, just checking like a little while ago, I only had 2 sales today. But yesterday I had like 8, I think. But I was looking for the first 21 days so far. I've had 183 sales, I think is what it was. But that's much slower. So that breaks down to just under 9 a day, almost 9 a day. And what do you call it? Which would mean if I kept up with that pace by the end of the month, that I would be sell way less than I did last month in August. In August, I did sell 345 items, and as of now, I'd be on track to sell like 200 and close to 270. So definitely things have slowed down for some reason in September. I'm not quite sure, other than it's just, you know, back to school, I guess, or people just getting back into the swing of things after summer. Maybe it'll pick up hopefully in October. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but regardless, it's still definitely still need to keep sending stuff in and prepare for the holidays as they come up. Should be a lot better going forward. Should be. There's just sometimes that it's slower, but repricing is good if you're not repricing, and if you don't have a repricer, what do you call it? Software repricer. If you're doing it manually, like me, I just reprice some stuff right now. We'll see. Kind of amazed when it comes to CDs. With books, it's expected that there's going to be a lot of new sellers, a lot more competition, and especially on those faster selling ones, the prices are going to be kind of all over the place, a little bit wild. But I'm noticing with CDs, there's not as many sellers in general, FBA sellers, but there's still this core group that I'm noticing that have become sort of like the core CD group of price, or what do you call them, of undercutting prices. I guess the low ballers or whatever. But there's a couple. There's probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 that seem to. One of them is much newer, and then like only a couple hundred feedback ratings, and the other ones have more than me, have like over 1,000 or double what I have, you know, like 800 or something. But none of them are huge sellers. There's a couple that'll come in once in a while. I'll see on some of my listings that do have a lot of feedback ratings that are much bigger. But in general, the ones I'm talking about are the little smaller sellers. A little bit smaller in terms of how many feedback ratings they have, but just a lot of them are really into undercutting me for sure, and just undercutting everyone else. Doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter what the whole concept of what condition people have their stuff in. So that seems to be thrown out the window. So whether it's you have a good one and they have very good or like new, they're gonna match you, or more than likely, well, me, they're gonna undercut me by. Sometimes it's, you know, it's only like 50 cents or 20 cents or whatever, but a lot of times it's $1 or more. And on stuff that I don't think, or that doesn't seem to make sense to me to do that with, but it's becoming quite a consistent pattern when I go to reprice. Now, when stuff hits the warehouse, I usually get a bump in sales, just because there's certain items that are just going to sell immediately. So that's always nice. You kind of take a certain percentage off the top that sell right away, and then the rest of the sales, you know, start to trickle in over the couple days and a week or two, and then some of the other stuff will take longer. But I'm noticing just that there just seems to be a lot of these people that like to undercut in CDs as well. There's not as many of them as there are on books because the music category is closed to new sellers, but there's enough of them to become quite a nuisance. And it's got me rethinking what I send in when it comes to these lower price CDs. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you, Jamie, for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just doing live videos now. I used to do edited videos. I'd love to get back to that. But for now, I'm just doing the live stuff. It's really convenient for me. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the new stuff as well. I do have quite a lot of videos, I think over a couple hundred. Anyway, this video might abruptly end, so just letting you guys know, which is not uncommon for some of my live stuff. But yeah, I agree. Terry was saying that looking at some of the prices that people sell their books, that it seems like just doing the calculations that they're gonna be under or not make any profit. Oh, okay, cool, great, Jamie. And I see that a little less with CDs, just because, you know, CDs are so small. One disc CD, you sell it for $10, and Amazon like $9.99. Amazon pays you a little over $4. I mean, that's with my low cost of goods. But if you're spending like $1 on cost of goods, then maybe like $3 profit. But yeah, when you get down to $6.99, assuming that your cost of goods is really low, and mine is like 5 or 7 cents, less than 10 cents for the Gaylord ones, I'm making like $1.50. So when I see prices that are like under like, when you get down to about $6.25, $6.35 for a CD, a single CD, you're making about $1 profit, assuming you got the CD for either free or, you know, for a nickel or so. I mean, yeah, that includes inbound shipping for me, but that depends, of course, what you're paying for inbound shipping. But basically, yeah, when I see those kind of prices, usually it's like Jensen or something like that, and I don't care, you know, what kind of deal they're getting. Well, I don't know, maybe they're getting a deal, but inbound shipping, even if it's super cheap for them and they're getting their stuff somehow for free or like dirt cheap, even less than what I'm paying because they're buying in such bulk, maybe a penny a CD or something, you know, whatever it is, even if it's free, there's just not much money to be made unless they're selling a gajillion. But in order to sell a gajillion, you've got to have the labor to ship out a gajillion to sell a gajillion. So, you know, if I'm only selling 10 a day, but there's CDs, let's say, but they're selling just CDs, they're selling, you know, I don't know, hundreds or 1,000 a day, but they have to ship those in, and guess what? That takes labor. So how are you making, I mean, how are they able to price stuff so low? But not just Jensen. I mean, I'm talking about some of the other people on the CDs that are pricing unnecessarily low just to get the next sale. Seem to be obsessed with that. And there's one newer person who has 200 and something, Adelphi and Cork, I believe. This is the second time I've mentioned them, and the reason, the other ones I haven't mentioned, but this one's really standing out because every time I see them, I just repriced some stuff and I saw them one time, maybe twice, and there was one where everybody was up at like $15, $16 for, it might have been a book, but I can't remember if it was a book or CD, but, and they were down at like $10. I mean, $11. It was just, it didn't make any sense. But they seem to be one of those people that just above all else, they want the next sale. It doesn't matter if they make hardly any profit off of that item. Again, if they're getting it for free, and they're willing to price things a couple dollars under, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, Goodwill exempt from some of the normal fees, definitely. And that's, yeah. I mean, Goodwill does a lot of merchant fulfilled as well, but you'll see them. Actually, I mostly see them on merchant fulfilled, but I'm sure they do a good amount of FBA. But yeah, just I was just noticing it. That's all. I mean, I just noticed a pattern, and that one person sticks out, or that one seller sticks out, and then there's other ones that are been consistent for a while now with CDs, where they're pretty consistent about, if I have a $9.99 good condition CD, they're going to price theirs. They're very good at $9.99 or below, a little bit below, or $1 or so below. And this other person is pricing like $2 or more consistently under the lowest FBA offer, no matter what the sales rank is, how many other offers, the other prices, whether it's a really fast CD or whether it's like one that'll take a little longer, not that long, but like maybe a month or so, versus one that'll sell within a couple days or a week or so, that's selling a lot of copies. They're just consistently pricing super low. And it's unfortunate because it hurts everybody else, and then it ends up dragging down the prices on those. So it's making me really, now what it's going to end up making me do, because I'm getting used to these sellers, is when I find these lower selling or lower profit, quicker selling CDs, I got to take a look at who's on the listing to see if it's worth it to send in. Now, I don't know who's going to end up jumping on the listing in between me listing it, or scanning it, listing it, shipping it out, waiting for it to get to the warehouse and going live. That could be several weeks, but from when I first scan it to when it actually goes live, depending upon how soon I am, ready I am to send out a shipment, and how long it takes to go live. So, the question becomes, if there's nobody on there. Oh, okay, Terry. Yeah, I got to get better about checking that. I'm not used to having that email, so I have to check at least a couple times a week. Yeah, so I have to decide whether it's worth it if there's any of those sellers are on the listing. Basically, I've got to the point now where before I would see certain CDs that sell pretty quick, but I see that there's like 5 other FBA sellers, and the price is already low at like $8.99, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to send it in, and then when I go to reprice it in a couple weeks after it goes live, or take a look at it, then suddenly everybody's down at $7.45 or $7.99. Everybody's dragged down there, and I'll still make a profit, but is it worth it to send in? A lot of this depends on if I can make money off of those CDs, either on eBay or a flea market type thing, or some other way. That's what I have to weigh, and I have to say, well, how much money can I make off of this on eBay? As of now, it's only eBay. Well, not very much for most of them. Individually, I might be able to put them into lots, but they're still not going to make that much money. So, yeah, it's got me reconsidering what I send in. And also, on top of the monthly long-term storage fees, now it's more motivation for me without repricing software to reprice more consistently, and pay more attention to that than I used to. So I can kind of see, and if I'm going to do that, I can see if it's making much of a difference in terms of selling a lot of that stuff faster, because it's tough, because I don't want to drop way down to where one person has dropped below everybody else, but it depends on the CD, or it depends on the item, whether it's a CD or book. But in these instances, the CD, and then if I go down there, everyone else might go down. Do I wait it out? But then what if everyone else goes down while I'm waiting it out? So No one is adhering to common sense pricing rules of staying the same conditions should be the same price, a little bit less if it's a lesser condition, a little bit higher if it's a nicer condition, and then everybody can get their sales, everybody can make their money, and everybody can move on instead of just the wild, wild west. And I don't care what anyone else is doing or what the price is or what the sales rank is. I'm just gonna undercut everybody by $2 on this CD. Everyone's at $11. I'm gonna go all the way down to $8.50 or whatever, and just because I want the next sale, that's all I care about. So either these people are like super obsessed with getting the next sale, like they just always have to. That's all that matters, is getting the next sale, so they get their money back, even though it's $2 less than it could be if they waited another couple weeks or a month or so. Or they don't know about those kind of like rules and how pricing should go. Anyway, what did somebody say? A problem with undercutters is that other sellers' repricer follows them down and can establish a new, much lower price rather than just a temporary reduction. Right. And so that's the problem with, which is why one of the reasons why I don't use a repricer, and I don't like the whole idea of repricing. I feel like Amazon should just ban repricers. And I know all the mega sellers or people with large inventories say, no, how could we run our business then? That would be crazy. Well, I think it would make it much more common sense if people just they had to spend the time, and not that much time, but had to spend the time to set a good price based on condition and all that stuff. So if there's already two sellers at, one's very good at $10.99 for a CD and one's good at $9.99, you have a good one, then you match the $9.99, and then the next buyer to come along has to decide between the two good ones, or do they want the very good and to pay a little more. And then if they want good and they want to pay less, then they got to decide between the two sellers, and then that's up to them. Do they want somebody who has more larger feedback rating, that has a better condition note or more detailed condition notes? I don't know. But so those are the things that come into play if you play by the rules, or the not Amazon rules, but how, like, the common sense rules. If repricers were banished, which I think they should be, but anyway, that's probably never going to happen. So we have to deal with it. So yeah, someone comes in with the repricer, or someone prices their item a couple bucks below, and then the other people's repricers go all the way down to match it or beat it by a penny or beat it by however much, and then you have this stupid battle, and then like all five of them go dropping down or whatever. So now everybody's at a low price. I just saw that with a book that I was looking at, where like 5 sellers were at like $7. It might have, I think it was a book, could have been a CD, but I think it was a book, because a $7 book doesn't seem to make sense. Maybe it was a CD, but 5 of them were down to $7 and low $7, and then it jumped up to like $9 or $10 after those 5 sellers. And one of those $7 and like 13-cent sellers was Jensen. Now, I don't know for sure if they're the one that dragged everybody down, but I'm pretty confident that they did. And even if they didn't, then someone else did it, and then they went down there with them. Yeah, I mean, we got to play with Amazon's rules. I get it. But part of their rules are not undercutting everybody. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, the way I learned 4 years ago was, like I was telling you guys, that you price, you match the same condition, and then you can go above them a little bit if you have a better condition, and below them. If you have acceptable, you go below good. If you have good, go below very good, etc. Below new, like new, and then that way everybody wins. If it's a long tail item, then you shouldn't be sending your stuff in if there's already somebody on the listing as a FBA. Maybe sell it merchant fulfilled or sell it somewhere else. But for ones that are consistently selling, then what am I saying? Are selling relatively quickly or at a steady clip, then you can come onto that onto the listing. But if there's 5 of us FBA sellers, we should play by the same rules so that we all can make money. But I don't know. That's partly why I am glad that music category is closed off. I feel bad because I talk about it a lot, and I can sell CDs in the music category, and a lot of people can't, or they're restricted off of certain quote unquote popular titles. But at the same time, I mean, when I look at the book category, it's like the Wild Wild West, and the CDs, there's this core group of people that are just really loving undercutting everybody else. And some of them have repricers. And that's the other thing that drives me crazy. And so they're undercutting. So I'll go through and I'll always, as I'm repricing, I'll see, you know, oh, I have a CD for 10.99, and then there's somebody who's 10.98 because their stupid repricer is set to go a penny under. So then I always match them, and then I know what's going to happen in seconds or minutes or however often that they reprice is they're just going to undercut me again. But I don't know. I hope that, well, maybe somehow someone will come across us and then they'll buy mine. But whatever. I mean, not trying to be like altruistic, but it just makes sense for all of us to follow by some sort of guidelines. Otherwise, it's a good thing that Amazon has such a massive catalog that you can find enough books. And there's so many books, and there's so many CDs, and there's so many other types of items like vinyl and whatever, that you can find enough to sell. Also, you know, sometimes, like for me now, like I was talking about, I might have to not send in certain lower priced, quicker selling, lower profit, quicker selling CDs, and books as well. Books as well. I think I might for books, just because I would get excited where I'd find some like, oh, this will sell really quick. And then now I go to reprice it, and there's 6 people that have undercut my price, most of them with better condition. And so it's just like, well, nobody wants to make money, apparently. We have to train Amazon customers. This is the amount you should pay for this book or this CD. We have the power. Amazon has the power. The customers, I mean, they do, but you know what I mean? That people that go on there, they want something, they're going to pay either the lesser price for merchant fulfilled and wait a lot longer and have more of a hassle with returning it if they don't like it, or they're going to select Prime and know they'll get it in a couple days, a day or two, and all the good stuff that comes with that and free shipping. But we have to say, no, this CD is, you're not going to get it for $6.99. You're going to get it for $9.99. And that's it if you want Prime. And if you don't like it, you're going to have to get merchant fulfilled, period. Instead of, let's just give this stuff away for free almost. I mean, that's exaggerating, but you know what I mean. So, I mean, I hope you guys watching this live or in the future, not live. It's not me. Well, I guess that's technically complaining, but it's just trying to talk it out to, like, hopefully somebody will hear this, which is highly unlikely, but hopefully a lot of us will just stick to these guidelines, these ways of pricing. And if we use repricers, can we match instead of undercutting by a penny or however much? Just match, match, match. And then, you know, don't go down so low. If you have a CD and you want to go below, like, I don't know, $8.99, $7.99, whatever. Maybe it's based on the sales rank, however it works for your repricer. Don't go so low. If they're going to keep on going, if they're just going to keep on going a penny less as you match them, then just have a cutoff. Don't go so low. Let them go low, and then you stay. Well, they'll only be a penny under you, but still. And I don't even know if a penny if a penny less what is the percentage that's going to get them the sale? I mean, I don't know. Does anybody know that? You know, if you're a penny less, do you have a much better chance? Is it just winning the buy box kind of a deal? And that's it? Or just, you know, oh, look, it's 1 penny less, so I might as well get it. I don't know. Yeah. That's possible too. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess that wasn't really a rant. I hope not. I think it was more just like letting you guys know what I'm seeing, and hopefully it'll help somebody out there. It's nice to get it off my chest just to talk about how it doesn't make sense to me, and I hope you guys in general, whoever watches this, is not going to say, yeah, I'm going to keep undercutting everybody. I'm going to keep selling couple dollars under, or I'm always going to reprice a penny under. Let's match the same condition, etc. Let's all do. I think we should all sign like not a contract, but like an agreement, right? That we're all going to do the same thing. But you know, a lot of these big sellers, they don't care. Like Jensen, they're not the only ones. They're just one of the biggest ones, and they do it all the time. But they're definitely into the next sale, and that's all. They just want volume, and that's what they do. Instead of making like way more money by pricing stuff more reasonably, like if they're doing as much volume as they probably are, considering that they have so many feedback ratings and they've been doing it for so long, then imagine adding like a couple dollars more, like $3 more on average per sale, times I don't know how many sales they make on FBA sales they make a month. Is it like tens of thousands? I don't know. That would be, you know, if it was like 20,000, that would be what do you call it? 60,000 more dollars a month. I mean, so these are just random numbers I'm throwing around, but you get the point. Like, you know, if they're so into volume, well, maybe if they price a little higher, they wouldn't have as much volume, a little bit less, but they'd make more per sale. I mean, anyway, that's what they want to do. And I'm not trying to convince them or big sellers, but and that's not as big a problem for me. The bigger sellers, it's more of the newer people that probably don't have tons of employees and have a big warehouse and a big operation and are just trying to burn through the stuff as fast as possible. Oop. Hold on a second, guys. I might have to end the video. I'm not sure who's... Okay. I was making a video, sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video. I know the title of this video was not what I talked about, and I did in the beginning show you a little bit. I'll probably end the video by showing you the beautiful view if you want to see it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll probably make a video Monday. It's really gorgeous though to look out. So this is San Diego, Coronado. Hi. It's quite tranquil and beautiful. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you next week, unless I do something tomorrow, but take care.